is the second time that Georgia Rose, an up-and-coming musician, singer-songwriter from Peterborough, Ontario, has joined this program. So hopefully it's just as wonderful as it was the first time. So, Georgia, welcome to the show once again. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week for me. So yeah. So tell me, how has it been since the song, your debut song, Summer Weather, has been released?
Things have been pretty good. A lot of people enjoyed the song, which that's really all that matters to me is that some people like it. So, yeah, and I've been playing at a few venues and everything to promote the song. So things have been going well.
Okay. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, the song is quite wonderful. It's 6 minutes long, so it's quite ambitious for a debut single. So, how did that decision come about?
Um, well, since I'm a songwriter, like I find that I get really intense into the lyrics. So when I was making the song, I just think I had a lot to say, and then I didn't even realize how long it was. And then it became a ballad, so the slower tempo made it even longer through the production and everything. Um, we just decided to leave it at that because there wasn't really anything that I could pinpoint that I wanted to cut out of the song to make it shorter.
Of course. Yeah. And I believe I contributed a short review of the song that was used in a marketing campaign, so I hope that helped.
Yeah, it definitely did. I really appreciated that.
Mhm. So, yeah, tell me about the inspirations that go behind the making of the song.
Well, the big inspiration for how I started writing the song was the line, and I can't be your Taylor Swift. She's a big inspiration to me for everything. So I have posters in my room of her. And one time I was just looking at the posters and I was like, I really aspire to be a great songwriter like her. But I'm always going to be different. And like, that's okay because you shouldn't be exactly the same as someone else. You have to be unique, um, especially in the music industry. So kind of just came up with a line that I can't be Taylor Swift. Um, but I can try to be close to it, which doesn't necessarily mean that I want to copy her, but that I can take inspiration from her without trying to be exactly like her in her style and her writing.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm guessing the song begins with that line. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the chorus line. So I started with the chorus and then I went back to do the first verse and second verse.
Oh, okay. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, tell me more about how you constructed the first and the second verses.
The song came together quite like quickly. At first, like I was just thinking, I got the chorus down. So I was kind of thinking about Taylor Swift and her like her past relationships and the songs she writes about that, and kind of thinking about my own past relationships too, and sort of the relationship that I aspire to have. So Summer Weather is kind of about like a more mature relationship and about like understanding that there's going to be bumps in the road, that it's not always going to be like summer, and you have to go through like the tougher times, but there's always going to be like a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's kind of where what the song's like core is. And then when I wrote the verses, I was just trying to focus on like specific details of like a relationship. So like waking up in the morning, and your partner's still asleep and just like wondering like are they still dreaming of me? Like um are they still willing to go through life with me? Like, have things gotten too difficult, or are they still going to be there for me? That kind of thing.
Mhm. Yes, and I'm guessing that theme carries on into the second verse as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think the verses are definitely more like specific images. So the second verse is dancing to like their song on like the record player and everything, and um it's kind of more uplifting, I'd say, the second verse, like more hopeful. Like you whisper, isn't it such a perfect night? So I'd say like this is like the part where like things feel like they might be okay. Like it's things are tough, but it's like the core of our relationship is still okay and still thriving.
Mhm. I see. So, just a little bit of a personal question. Are you currently in a relationship right now?
Yeah, I've been with my boyfriend for about 11 months, but I did write Summer Weather probably about 6 months before we even met.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it was
Mhm.
inspired by a previous relationship, I'm guessing.
It was more so inspired about like what, like the kind of like relationship I would not want, but like if we were going through tough times, like this is how I'd kind of want the relationship to handle it in a mature way. I would say like I never really been in a mature relationship like long enough to experience like the difficult times. Um, so sort of like a mix of like what I've experienced a little bit, but then also what I would hope to experience in the future.
Mhm. I see. So when it comes to that line, I cannot be your Taylor Swift. Were you thinking about her songwriting abilities as well as, her relationship status, or either?
I think both of them. I think it's more so almost turned into a metaphor because I think in relationships it's easy to compare yourself um, and think, oh, like I'm not as pretty as this person or I'm not this. But I think it's important to remember that when you're in a relationship, like the person you're in a relationship with should love you for who you are and they shouldn't be expecting you to act or look like anyone else. You should just be yourself.
I see. Yeah, I know that she's currently in a long-term relationship right now with the football player guy, but I
Mhm.
can remember when I was around your age actually, like people were speculating, what song that she was writing, usually in a negative fashion about which celebrity boyfriend she was at for 3 or 4 months. So yeah, I remember that, and I find it kind of annoying. It's that part of like fandom that I doesn't appeal to me, so to speak.
Yeah, they definitely get very personal into her and her personal life, but
Mhm.
mhm.
Do you remember when you were first introduced to Taylor Swift's music?
Yeah, I believe it was pretty young. I think maybe like 7, when I first like heard a song on the radio and recognized that, oh, that's Taylor Swift and I like that song. It was I Knew You Were Trouble from her Red album. And I really liked that song. That was the first song that by Taylor Swift that every time it came on the radio, I was like, oh, I love this song. And then after that, I was introduced to her 1989 album when it came out, when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I really loved that album. I played it on repeat. And from there, there on out, I basically was a Swiftie.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Disney Channel shows, and I believe
Mhm.
she made a cameo appearance in the Hannah Montana movie. So
Yeah,
that's how I was introduced to her. She was still in her country era at that time, so but I discovered her music during the time that she released that Red album. The first song I've heard of her was like "We Are Never Getting Back Together," which
yeah.
frankly I find a bit annoying. So again, it's one of her like breakup songs that the fans would speculate on what person she was addressing, to whom she was addressing. So yeah, so I suppose I get that impression that girls care more about relationship than guys do. So I'm not sure if that's true at this point.
Maybe in some situations.
Yeah. So in the future, do you hope to write, songs of great length, such as Summer Weather, or do you hope to write, shorter and perhaps bubblier songs?
I do have some shorter songs that are currently being produced right now. So definitely Summer Weather is the longest song that has ever been written by me. And I probably won't be releasing any more 6-minute ballads, but um, I definitely don't regret having it that long, I think. Um, when I listen to it, honestly, I feel like the time goes by so fast, and I've heard some other people, like friends, say that too. So I think that's just how ballads are sometimes. Either you have to cut the lyrics or um, cut some of the production at the beginning or end. And I think just Summer Weather fit together nicely with everything. But in the future, yeah, I have some shorter songs coming out, and typically, I don't write ballads. I typically try to write poppier songs, or at least like shorter songs.
Mhm. So did the song receive a radio play when it came out?
Yeah, it got played on Northumberland Radio, so a local independent station around my area, which was nice. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Remind me again, how far do you live from the Peterborough city center?
I'm about 20-ish minutes away from Peterborough.
Okay. By car, I'm guessing.
By car, yeah.
Yeah. Do you drive?
Yeah, I have my G2 license.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
not full license, but yeah.
I see. Yeah. I believe after the G2 there's a G, so that's when you can drive by yourself, right?
I can drive by myself, but I just can't
Uh,
drive out of province, I think, or
oh,
on
right.
major highways out of province.
Oh, I
I
see.
can get my full license anytime. I just haven't because winter driving and everything. I'm just gonna wait till springtime. So I should probably book it now.
Of course. Yeah. It might be helpful for touring purposes and such.
Definitely.
So, uh, where is the farthest that you've gone to do a show?
So far, the farthest I've gone is Parry Sound. So last year, I was working up at Kilbear Provincial Park in Ontario, and I got to play at a couple places in Parry Sound. One was right on the harbor front, which was a really nice venue.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's about 3.5 hours away from Peterborough.
Mhm. Do you often do shows in the afternoons or in the evenings?
Usually in the evenings, like between 5 to 9, somewhere in that area is when I perform. Sometimes though, like the Peterborough Legion, when I play there, it's a 2 to 5 time slot, so more in afternoon.
Mhm. Yeah. How do you
Mhm.
balance that with your schooling? I'm assuming that you're still doing school.
Yeah, I'm at Trent University right now.
Oh, really?
My
Yeah, yeah.
schedule is pretty flexible. I have two online classes, so I can uh, study those like at my own pace and on my own time. So typically there aren't many conflicts with school, but sometimes it does get a bit stressful when I have a busy week with school and with music. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. What are you majoring in, may I ask?
I'm majoring in English, English Lit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was that too. So,
Nice.
but I didn't transition into that until second year. But yeah, I'm an English major. I graduated that. Have you attended any classes taught by Stephen Brown?
I haven't yet, but I've heard lots about him. My mom actually had him as a teacher when she went to Trent for English literature. So I'm hoping that maybe next year I'll be able to do one of his classes because I think he's probably pretty close to retirement
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, I had plenty of classes with him. He's a very interesting man. He would like organize like um once a semester Shakespeare related events. So if you have a chance to go to, his latest one, yeah, you're free to do so. They're quite
Mhm.
nice. They're open mic stuff. Yeah, I attended a couple of them too.
Nice. Yeah, I heard about one of them in the fall. I haven't heard about one yet this semester. So hopefully I can attend it.
Okay. Yeah, it may have already passed already. So
Hmm.
yeah, he would often organize it either around Halloween or Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Do you know which professors you are having classes with?
Right now, my one of my English professors is Andrew Loeb. Um, my other professors are Mark Hickson, or no, sorry, Mike Hickson, Mark Alwood, and my online professors are Jessica Moore, and I believe that's all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know Andrew Lowe. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
quite great too. One of the most interesting classes I did with him was Elizabethan theater that are not written by Shakespeare. So Ben Jonson and I think Christopher Marlowe and everyone. So I don't know if he's still doing that. But if you can, yeah, if you can register
Mhm.
to such a class that he's teaching, you're welcome to.
Probably. I'm in a class called Perilous Realms with him right now, so we did study Marlowe, and we're currently working on a Ben Jonson play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that class, but I've never had a chance to attend. So, well, what's the overall premise?
It's essentially like the Renaissance era, and it's not really like focused on Shakespeare, which is nice. Like it's more um, other authors and poets from the Renaissance era, and also it's kind of more focused on culture and how the culture influenced the plays and how you can like decipher what was going on at the time through the pretense of the writing.
I see. Yeah, so roughly similar to yeah, my Elizabethan theater class that I did. Um, yeah, I wonder, do you take classes at Trail College?
I haven't had the opportunity yet, but I'm hoping to maybe in the next couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take my first trail college classes until I think second year. But I'm told that, after I left, they built this like big amphitheater, outdoor theater going on. So I believe our mutual friend, Irish Millie, performed there. So I hope when I have a chance to go back, I can see that theater.
Yeah, I haven't personally been, but I've heard lots about it.
Mhm. How's your first year trend going so far?
So far, it's been pretty good. My teachers have been really compassionate, but also like um, very like good at like what they're doing. Obviously, I'm learning a lot, and it's been a bit stressful trying to balance it with music, but I always end up figuring it out. And yeah, it's going well. Coming up to the last few weeks of the semester, so it's
Oh,
definitely gone by very fast.
oh yeah. Yeah, I know that, next month would be like when your classes wrap up, right?
Hmm.
Hmm. So you're almost done with your first year already. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm I'm going to graduate sometime in June, but I think my classes would end in May. So I have that to focus on.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, I believe first year classes are for the most part pretty easy. The teachers they go easy on you. But I think the classes in the later years would be a lot more interesting. Like you would organize yourself in seminars and such with fewer people, so the teacher pay more attention to you, so to speak.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you look forward to? Do you prefer that kind of class model at all, or do you prefer the larger scale ones?
I definitely prefer seminars because they're smaller classes, but also like shorter in time. I find sometimes when it's like a 2 or 3 hour lecture, it's hard for me to keep focused the entire time. So, um, and also I feel more comfortable contributing in seminars and talking and all that with a smaller group.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So back to music. Yeah, I wonder if you're going to take any music related classes at Trent at some point.
I hope to. Trent doesn't have a huge selection with music, but I'll definitely be looking into it. Maybe something in media studies. I know they might have some like more of the tech side of like recording and stuff. They might have some of that. But I haven't fully looked into what they have for music. I just know it's a bit limited.
Let's see. Um, I don't know if he still teaches there, but I used to have two classes with one Martin Arnold. I believe he's either in the English or in the Cultural Studies department. Um, there's a class that I participated called Pop After Rock, where he chronicles popular music from the 50s onwards. So his is more of a thematic and cultural side of popular music rather than the technical side of it.
Mhm. I think I have heard of that course. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, if you have a chance to, then feel free to participate.
Mhm.
Um, do you have any plans on what you're going to do after graduation?
I'm not too sure yet. I definitely am gonna keep pursuing music and see if that takes me anywhere. But English and writing is definitely a huge passion of mine, so I know I would be happy in any occupation that would um, invite me to be like creative or being like an editor or anything to do with writing and that kind of job.
Yeah, of course. I'd say research, Canadian literature, it's a good topic to research.
Hmm.
I don't think I had too much of a chance to do so when I was doing Trend, but in hindsight, I really should have done so. Okay. Tell me about how the cover art of the single Summer Weather was taken.
So we decided to do a photo shoot. I kind of wanted to do it at sunset, because of the line, the sunset reflects in your eyes from the summer weather. So we got actually one of my boyfriend's childhood friends. He's a photographer and videographer. His name's John Stewart. And he came out to one of my previous gigs to take professional photos, and we really liked the results. So we asked him to come out. We went to Rogers Cove, which is like a park on the water on Little Lake in Peterborough, and we got some pictures at sunset. So we did a bunch in a few different locations along the water, and went through the pictures, and there was a lot of good ones, and it was hard to decide, but I really liked the way the sunset and the light, like the lighting was in this one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a pretty picture.
Thank you.
Of course, your mom, Terry, told me that I should mention your upcoming benefit concert for the homeless. So I'd like to ask you for more details regarding that.
Hmm. So that's on March 26th. It's Peterborough Performs, and it's Musicians United to End Homelessness. So this is the fifth time they've been running it. It's United Way, and um, they do it at Showplace Performance Center. So they collaborate with Paul Rellinger and some other like really important people to gather musicians together and sell tickets. So essentially, there's I think between like 10 to 20 musicians, two stages, and it starts at 7. I'm pretty sure it goes till 10 or 11. So I have a 20-minute time slot from 7 to 7:20 in the Cogeco Lounge in the downstairs part of Showplace. And essentially, um, it's just in efforts to alleviate homelessness, especially like in our area. So United Way is very instrumental in helping homeless, and so it's a very important cause that way because we can definitely see, even just in our community, how homelessness has been increasing, and I know it's like that globally as well.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I can remember when I was living in Peterborough, there were plenty of homeless people too. Even during the pandemic, which is really sad to see. They would often coalesce around downtown, but you can see them in or around bus stops and supermarkets and such. Um,
Hmm.
I've heard that the municipality of Toronto or Ontario just ships homeless people around the GTA. So Peterborough got, its share of the homeless people that are supposed to be in Toronto or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
so so do the benefits of the concert go directly to United Way, which hopefully goes to, helping homeless people?
Yeah, the proceeds go to United Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also remember, I think it was there was a shelter like downtown Peterborough where it's used to, temporarily house homeless people. And some of the residents there are like really young. It's like around my age and yours. So I wonder what happens to them because, for the most part, the average age of homeless people is around, 40s and 50s.
Hmm. Yeah, we have the youth emergency shelter, which is
Right? Yeah.
so yeah, directed for younger people who are homeless, which mm, that's really, really sad.
Mhm. Yes, I've passed through that building too, the Yes building. Basically,
Hmm.
that's what I refer to it. And yeah, you mentioned show plays. I believe I've had a chance to attend a few shows in that building too, and yeah, it's a wonderful building to be, and I believe hopefully that's still where they host Reframe Film Festival screenings.
I believe so. That sounds kind of familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an annual festival where they show mostly documentaries. So again, if you have a chance to attend that, you're welcome to.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's I believe for students, it's either free or really discounted.
Hmm.
Are you a movie person by any chance?
I definitely enjoy movies. Yeah.
I believe I mentioned this in our previous conversation, but imagine like there's this one girl or this one kid who knows Taylor Swift through her movies, like Lorax or Cats,
Hmm.
and that would be quite that'd be quite funny.
Yeah.
So what are some of the music that you've been listening to lately?
Lately I've been really getting into Gracie Abrams. She's been very popular lately. I've been listening to her like casually for about 2 years, but I'm definitely really enjoying her latest album. Yeah.
And what's the name of her latest album?
The Secret of Us.
Okay, cool.
So,
What do you like about her?
um, well, I first got into her because her and Taylor are close friends, and she opened for the Eras tour early on in the U.S. leg of the tour, and then she also opened for the Canadian leg of the tour. So um, when I first heard about her was when she opened for the U.S. leg, and I really enjoyed her songs. And I also liked that she wasn't as popular when I first started listening to her. Um, but I still enjoy her even though she's like very popular now, and I'm really happy that I got to see her in concert when she opened for Taylor Swift. What I like about her is definitely her songwriting, and the way she structures her songs. It's like very different, and some of her songs don't follow like the typical structure that I guess I'm used to listening to with like t standard pop music. Also like her older albums and EPs because they're a bit like less produced in a way. They're more raw and like have less going on in like the background and backing tracks and everything. So there's like a nice um like authenticity about that almost. But I like all of her music.
I see. Yeah. I think so far two things I know about her is that she was born the same year as me, so she's my age. So yeah, and also the same year as that Sabrina Carpenter lady too. So both of them
Hmm.
are the same age as me, so that makes me feel really old. And secondly, her father created the show Lost, so that's the
Hmm.
benefits. I suppose that's how she got the Taylor Swift gig. Hey, tell me about your goals for 2025, musically or otherwise.
Um, Musically, I'm just hoping to expand like my demographic and get outside of Peterborough. I did have the opportunity to play a gig in Trenton, which is about an hour from Peterborough, but I'm hoping to maybe work my way into the GTA for some venues there. That would be nice. Definitely like more difficult to get my name out there, but working on it. So. Musically, yeah, just trying to expand and play different venues. I'll also be working at Kilbride Provincial Park again this summer, probably from June until September. So that'll be exciting and yeah, starting second year.
Of course. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So when it comes to expanding your demographic, do you mean reaching older audiences or younger ones?
Um, I think more just newer audiences. I feel like I appeal to a wide variety of ages, but I'm trying to get out of Peterborough in a sense. I love all the venues in Peterborough and I want to keep playing them, but I also want to have the opportunity to play venues outside of Peterborough. Um, and yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So finally, I'm not sure if I asked you this in our previous conversation, but who would you like to open for?
Realistically or like hypothetically?
Well, the sky's the limit.
Okay. Um, I mean, obviously, in my wildest dreams, it would be wonderful to open for Taylor Swift or Gracie Abrams or any of those big pop female artists right now that are really popular. Um, but there's also some like smaller bands that are smallish bands like The Wallows, and I really like them. So opening for them would be amazing too. I got to see them in concert last year, and their opening act as well. She was really great. So honestly, any of my favorite artists would be a dream to open for.
Okay. Yeah. That's about wraps it up for our conversation for the day. Thank you very much, Georgia Rose, once again for doing this show.
Thank you so much.